Vaishnava calendar, but we'll also do Bhagavatam. And it's the commemoration of the disappearance. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Oh, is it normal now? Okay. It's the commemoration of the disappearance day or days of two personalities today, and one is Vamsi Das Babaji, who's a great soul, and of course these are all great souls, and the other one is Raghunandana Thakur. So we're going to chant, instead of Jai Radhamadhava, we're going to chant the prayers to the departed Vaishnavas. Let's see. Take this, that's good. Okay. Ye Hanela Prema Dana Korana Pracho Heno Prabhu Kotak Gela Charya Thakur Kamora Swaruprupa Kahasanatan Kakatsa Raghunatha Patita Bhavahan Kahamora Bacha Juga Kagamera Ekakale Kotagela Gurunat Taras Pashane Kutibo Mata Annale Vasibo Goranga Gunera Nede Kotakele Pabo Goranga Gunera Nede Kotakele Pabo Say Sabah Sakira Sange Ye Koila Vilas. Say Sangana Paya Kande Nalatamolas. Say Sangana Paya Kande Nalatamolas. Jayanila Prema Dana Karuna Prachur Jaya Jaya Thakur Jaya Jaya Thakur Jaya Thakur Jaya Jaya Thakur Jaya Jaya Thakur Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravidikacharya also Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Vilas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Gadadha Shiva Siddhi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Mathuram Ki Jai Jagadathasami Ki Jai Yamunamai Ki Jai Shrimad Glasi Devi Ki Jai Samvid Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Pudale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Samaniti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharne Nivashesha Shanyavadi Paschachate Jatarne. So, let me read the translation. He brought the treasure of divine love and was filled with compassion and mercy. Where is such a personality as Srinivasacharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities, being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees, in whose association he performed his pastimes? Narottama Das simply weeps. So as I mentioned, today we are commemorating the disappearance day or days of two great personalities, Vamsidas Babaji and Raghunandana Thakur. So, interesting biographies. So first we'll speak about Vamsidas. Well, I can't because it has marigolds. Vamsidas Babaji. Omagana Timiranda Shah Gananjana Shlakaya Chakshur Meditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So the information I have about Vamsidas Babaji is coming from a biography that was written by my god brother, Bhakti Vikash Maharaj. So, of course, Vamsidas Babaji is a Babaji A Babaji means someone who is a Bhajan Anandi. Two types of devotees, Bhajan Anandis and Goshan Anandis. Goshan Anandis are those who go out and preach, and Bhajan Anandis are those who sit and they develop their own Krishna consciousness in a very renounced way. Sometimes they are avadutas, such as in the case of Vamsidas Babaji. Avaduta means like the wind, that they don't follow the normal procedures that the rest of us follow because they're absorbed in spontaneous, pure, loving devotion to Krishna, so they don't have to follow those same procedures like getting up early in the morning or even being reverent towards the deities. Their mood towards the deities may be more of an intimate mood, or as we will see in the case of Vamsidas Babaji, sometimes even getting angry at the deities when the deities didn't, according to what he was thinking, act in a way that they wanted. So anyway, so the Bhajananandi sometimes preached, but he was very much appreciated by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, which is really interesting because Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would oftentimes decry those who were simply sitting and chanting. And Srila Prabhupada, our Srila Prabhupada, of course, had a very interesting statement about some of these, quote, Bhajanandis, not all of them, but some of them who were pretenders. He said they're eating the mind's bananas in this poem, Vrindavan Bhajan. So anyway, so he was born in a very poor family, this Vamsidas Babaji, in 1859, in Bengal, of course. And it was a fisherman's family. Interesting. A fisherman is about as low as you can get in the caste system. I mean, because you got the Shabbaras, the pig eaters, but the fisherman is pretty low. And so he helped with the family's business of catching and selling fish when he was young. But fortunately, on the way back from his catching the fish or selling the fish, he had the association of one of the disciples of Narottama Das Thakur, who was named Narottama Das Babaji. And he became very attracted by that association, as we see. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Sastrakoi, Lavamatra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. By some little association, 1/10 or 11th of a second, one achieves all sorts of perfection. So his parents got really worried. Our son is getting attracted to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he may become renunciate. So they arranged to get him married. But shortly thereafter, he left. And he took initiation from the same Babaji, Narottama Das Babaji, and he became extremely, extremely austere. Extremely. He didn't make any endeavor to procure food, and he went without eating for sometimes several days, and he would bathe in freezing water. But still, he always looked healthy because these great devotees have spiritual bodies. We cannot imitate them. If we tried to imitate them, we would die, get extremely weak. So we need a certain amount of sleep, we need a certain amount of prasadam, and we need certain material amenities because of our particular spiritual or psychophysical condition. And he was constantly traveling, and even when he was 80 years old, he would walk so fast that many of his younger associates could not keep up with him. So his hair and beard were unkempt and matted. He looked wild, and he spoke Bengali and also the local dialect. And it appeared that he was mad sometimes because his sentences would run together, and his talking he would jump from one topic to another. But one of his favorite phrases was Bhaktavatsal Hari Pranabhalava Hari. And he would shout this continuously. He gave up the association of non-devotees and, of course, followed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's surrendering principles, accepting everything favorable, rejecting everything unfavorable. And he had deities. He had 3 sets of deities he carried with him. Remember, listen to this. He had Balagopal, which is easy to carry with him, and that's Krishna as a little child, sometimes called Ladu Gopal. He has 6-inch metal deities of Radha Govinda, and the 6 inch, they're pretty heavy metal deities of Radha Govinda, and 3 feet wooden deities of Gauranatai that he would travel with. And he would talk to them, sometimes in a mood of an affectionate parent, sometimes he would chastise them, sometimes he would plead with them. And then he would talk to them, and then he would stop to hear what they had to say. And many of his pastimes were quite miraculous. For example, during the Rath Yatra, they couldn't move the cart, and so they came to him, and he had a conversation with Lord Jagannath, and the cart started to move. Another time, he wanted to give his deity of Balagopal a bath, and he was on the banks of, he was close to the river in Puri, not the river, the ocean in Puri, and he said to the ocean, "Come here." And a huge wave came and bathed his deities. Anyway, there are many miracles that are mentioned here. And, one day he was staying someplace, and people noticed that 50 ladies dressed in white came in the middle of the night to offer their obeisances to him. And, of course, obviously, they were from the heavenly planets or some other abode. And one day he cooked sweet rice for his deity, and he threw it away before offering it because he said, "You've already eaten a sweet rice with gur in it, so I'm not going to give you this." And he was referring to the offering that had happened at the Radha Govinda temple in Vrindavan. So they contacted the Radha Govinda temple in Vrindavan and found out that day the deities had been offered sweet rice with gur in it. It's loud enough? The what? That's too bad. Nothing you can do about it. So he's offered sweet rice. So they offered sweet rice with gur at the, or somewhat devotees sometimes called Gora, at the Radha Govinda temple. So, anyway, so many miracles. So, what's that? Okay, that's better. Yeah, it's a little loud. So he actually told his the deities one time when he couldn't go out to beg. The deities actually said to him that they were going to provide prashadam, and he said, I got angry with him. I said, "You better not go outside, or else I get angry with you." He said something else, which I'm not going to repeat here. So anyway, he had many instructions. Whoever offends a Vaishnava cannot be saved. Jivadaya Namaruchi, Vaishnava Sevi, Hachara, Dharma, Nahi, Sanatan. Kindness to all living beings, taste for the holy name, and service to the Vaishnavas. Of course, these are Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's principles. Once a man asked Vamsidas how to attain God, and Vamsidas replied, "The personality of Kali is extremely powerful. When Kali came, Krishna told Narada, 'Now it's time for me to go.' And Narada asked, 'What will be the future of the creatures in this world?' And Krishna replied, 'Those who worship the Brahmanas and feed them will attain me.'" This is Vamsidas was relating this as a conversation. Narada asked, "What of those who were too poor to serve the Brahmins?" Krishna replied, "Those who worship me with flowers and tulsi will attain me." And Narada asked, "What of those who were lame from birth?" Krishna replied, "If someone only once at the end of the day calls my name with undivided devotion, he will attain me." So on March 17, 1944, he returned to his hometown but didn't actually enter into the town. And he stayed there as a renunciate until July 23rd, 1944, when he concluded his earthly pastimes. So that's Vamsidas Babaji. Vamsidas Babaji Ki Jai. And then we also have Raghunandana Thakur. So I'll go quickly because I wanted to do a little bit of the Bhagavatam. So Raghunandana Thakur was the son of Mukunda, and there were three brothers, Mukunda, Madhava, and Narahari Saraka Thakur. And Raghunandana Thakur is famous. This is the most famous story about him. He was only about 5 or 6 years old when his father, who was a physician, was called out to do some work. And he instructed his son, Raghunandana, you take care of the deities in the meantime. You have to make sure that Gopinath, which was the deity there, which had been worshipped throughout many generations in his family, was served nicely. And he said, just like your mother feeds you every day, you have to feed the deities. And he said, how do I offer bhoga to the deities? And his father, Mukunda, said, just follow the procedure. You saw how I do it. You know, you hear the prayers, you saw the prayers. And so he did it while the father was gone. But he didn't see the deities eating. So he started to get really upset and cry. And what happened is that Krishna came down from the altar and ate all the bhoga. And the father came back, and he said, eventually the father came back, and he said to Raghunandana that I would like to have some of the remnants, some of the prasadam. And Raghunandana said, there's nothing left because Gopinath ate everything. And the father got really upset. He said, what do you mean ate everything? You must have eaten everything. But then he understood his son wasn't mischievous. His son wouldn't tell a lie. So later on, while his son was making another offering, he stood at the window and watched as his son was making the offering. And he saw Gopinath eat. And there's actually two versions of the story. One is that Gopinath had already eaten a full meal, and so he couldn't eat that much, so he just ate half a laddu. Another version of the story is that Gopinath saw him looking through the window and then stopped eating. And so, in any case, there was half a laddu left. And therefore, Mukunda accepted his son as his father. That's interesting. And that was later brought out in a conversation where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Mukunda, who is the father and who is the son? Is Raghunandana the father and you the son? Or are you the father and Raghunandana is the son? And so Mukunda answered, Raghunandana is the father, because he appreciated. Of course, they were both pure devotees, Nityasiddha devotees, and there was no question that, you know, someone was the father, someone was the son. I mean, externally, of course, Mukunda was the father. But Lord Chaitanya very much appreciated Mukunda's understanding and embraced him. And this showed great humility, where one appreciates the devotion in one, even though someone is, let's say, by material vision, someone is inferior, or, well, not so much inferior, but someone is in a position that appears to be inferior. So, and that's Raghunandana's story. That's about the only story. He was born in the Shaka year 1432, and his descendants are still there. So let's go on to the Bhagavatam. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 53rd chapter, text 38. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kinchit Su Charitam Yan Nas Tena Dushtas Triloka Krit Anugranatu Agranatu Vaidarabhya Panim Achuta Kinchitsu Charitang Yanas Tena Tushtas Triloka Krit Anugranatu Granatu Vaidarbhya Panimachuta Kinchitsu Charitam Yanas Tena Tushtas Triloka Krit Anugranatu Granatu Vaidarbhya Panimachuta Kinchitsu Charitam Yanas Tena Tushtas Triloka Krit Anugranatu Granatu Vaidarbhya Panimachuta. Okay. Chuta. Ladies. Kamyanas. Tushtas Triloka Krit. Grinatu. Vaidarbhya Panimachuta. Anyone else? Okay. Kinchit at all. Sucharatam. Pious work. Yat. Whatever. Na. Our. Tena. With that. Tushta. Satisfied. Triloka. Of the three worlds. Krit. The Creator. Anugranatu. May please show mercy. Granatu. May take. Vaidarbhya. Of Rukmini. Panim. The hand. Achyuta. Krishna. Translation. May Achyuta, the creator of the three worlds, be satisfied with whatever pious work we have done, and show his mercy by taking the hand of Vaidarbi. So you can repeat. May Achyuta, the creator of the three worlds, be satisfied with whatever pious work we have done, and show his mercy by taking the hand of Vaidarbi. So the purport by the followers of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, the devoted citizens of Vidarbha, lovingly offered their entire stock of pious credit to Princess Rukmini. They were very eager to see her marry Lord Krishna. Hmm. So, I'm just going to read Jiva. I'm going to skip over Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur's commentary, which is pretty much the same thing as ISKCON's commentary. So, Jiva Goswami states, "May the creator of the three worlds, he who can do anything, and who is merciful by creating the words so that we can live, the worlds, actually, it should be here, be satisfied with whatever pious acts we have done in previous lives. He is fixed in beauty and qualities, achyuta. Generally, that means infallible. They use the word Vaidarbhya, she who is from Vaidarbha, to indicate that they, as residents of Vidarbha, have a relationship with her, because their hearts are overcome with the sweetness of Krishna's human pastimes. They use different words to describe him, Triloka Krit and Achyuta. They also indicate his extraordinary nature." So, whoops, actually I just want to go back to the verse. Kinchit sucharitam yanas tena tushtat shriloka krit anugranatu granatu vaidarbhya panimatyuta. So, Om Ganati Mirandasha Gananjana Shlakaya Chakshur Un Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, what I want to talk about for the rest of the class is the love, not only that the devotees had for the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the citizens had for Vaidarbi or Rukmini, was the general principle how in those days people, when they had good kings, they loved, the citizens actually loved, were ready to make sacrifices for the leaders of society. And I'm going to give some examples, but first I'm going to read from Srila Prabhupada's books, the 4th canto, 20th chapter, text 15, where Lord Vishnu is speaking to King Prithu. He's saying, if you continue to protect the citizens, so in other words, the king would consider the citizens to be like his children. So there was so much love in society, like you see with the prayers that we're hearing here, that let Krishna marry Rukmini, like this, the citizens are ready to give up their own pious activities for the sake of the leaders. So he said, my dear King Prithu, if you continue to protect the citizens according to the instructions of the learned Brahmin authorities, as they are received by disciplic succession, by hearing from master to disciple, and if you follow the religious principles laid down by them without attachment to ideas manufactured by your own mental concoction, then every one of your citizens will be happy and will love you. And very soon you will be able to see such 4 already liberated personalities as the 4 Kumaras. And so this is interesting. So this is about Varnashram. So Lord Vishnu advised King, this is in the purport, King Prithu, that everyone should follow the principles of Varnashram. Then, in whatever capacity one remains within this material world, his salvation is guaranteed after death. So, of course, then Prabhupada skips ahead. That it's important, the only method for becoming perfect in life is develop Krishna consciousness. As Varnashram Dharma is executed by different positions by different men, so the Krishna conscious principles can be followed by everyone in every part of the world. So the leaders were actually, I'm not going to read all these things, I have too much to read here. So another quote from Srila Prabhupada, 6th canto, 2nd chapter, text 3, a king or governmental official should be so well qualified that he acts as a father, maintainer, and protector of the citizens because of affection and love. He should give the citizens good advice uh, and instructions according to the standard scriptures and should be equal to everyone. Yamaraj does this for he is the supreme master of justice, and so do those who follow in his footsteps. So, and then another quote from Prabhupada, which is the class on the same verse. The citizens, they are just like innocent children, and the government is to be supposed to be their father. So small children, they're completely dependent on father with full faith. In other words, this is the relationship the citizens would have with the king during the Vedic system. They would think, my father is there, my mother is there. And if the father and mother become contaminated, then what is the position of the citizens? If the whole government is polluted, then what is the position of the citizens? Just see. Their so-called government, millions of rupees they are spending and taking salary, government house, but the praja, that's the citizens, those who are born in the kingdom, they have no security for their life income. Just see the position. And another purport, 11th canto, 5th chapter, text 34, Prabhupada explains. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is actually this is about Lord Ramchandra. Although the Lord is completely independent, detached from everything, he becomes attached to his pure devotees due to their love for him. In the great capital of Ayodhya, all the citizens love Ramchandra more than can be described. And here are the examples. So, examples that I wanted to give as far as the citizens' love for the leaders of society, like we see here in this particular verse, is that one example is in the pastimes of Lord Ram, when Lord Ram was sent in exile, all the citizens wanted to follow him into the forest, and they were stopped by, of course, Kaikeyi, whose plan it was to banish Lord Ram, because she thought, if everyone follows Lord Ram into the forest, then who's going to be left to take care of the kingdom? My son Bart will no longer have any kingdom. But still, the citizens were ready to follow like that. Another example in the pastimes of Lord Ram is that when Lord Ram, at the end of his pastimes on this earth planet, he said to the citizens, anyone who wants to come with me can come with me by entering into the Sarayarya River, and in this way you'll go back to the spiritual world with me. And everybody followed except for those who were forbidden by Lord Ram, and that of course means Hanuman and Vibhishan. So, so much love was there between the leaders. The point is the leaders, of course, the ideal leader is Lord Ram, and everybody in India is always talking about Ram Raj, etc., like that. But there was so much love between the citizens and the leader. They were ready, as in this particular case, this verse, to give up all their pious activities. I mean, how many of us, of course, hopefully we're devotees, but how many of us would be willing to sacrifice all of our devotional advancement or our happiness for the sake of someone else? Isn't it? And of course, with His divine grace, Srila Prabhupada, we're ready and hopefully still ready to sacrifice our lives. And many days I read stories about Prabhupada's, written by Prabhupada's other disciples of Prabhupada, Prabhupada's pastimes in the early days and how the devotees were willing to go anywhere. I was just hearing the story about Suraja and Vaikuntanath yesterday. Suraja and Vaikuntanath were sent just as new devotees. They'd just been recently married. They were sent by Srila Prabhupada to Trinidad. And, here two people, and Trinidad has a different racial mix than, America or like that. Into a foreign country like that with great faith in Prabhupada and love for Prabhupada, they were willing to do that. Or Bhaktitirtha Maharaj, who because of his love for Srila Prabhupada was willing to go into the previous Soviet Union and risk his life and be jumping from one train to another to avoid capture by the KGB just to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. So that's how much love is there in the Vaishnav society. That is the engine that drives Vaishnav society. So also there's other stories from the Shastras. When the Pandavas were sent in exile, the citizens also wanted to join them when they were sent away. And then also when the Pandavas were sent to Indraprasth, which is a desert country, the citizens all wanted to go with him. And of course, they were stopped by Duryodhana and company. So, so the point is the ruler's mood, because the rulers have this mood to consider the citizens like their children, then there's that sort of reciprocation between the rulers and the citizens. And just taking it a little further is, why do we love Krishna, who is the original ruler, as we find Ishwara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadi Radir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Krishna is the original ruler, so we love him because he loves us. You know, we can say we love Krishna because he's all attractive, he plays a flute, which is very attractive features. But why are we willing to, hopefully we're willing to, or one day we'll be willing to, why are we willing to sacrifice? Why is a devotee willing to sacrifice everything for Krishna? Because of that reciprocation that one has with Krishna. Not simply that, you know, he's beautiful, which he is. You know, he's famous, beautiful, all these qualities of Bhagavan. But why are we devoted? Because Yeyatamam Prabhajate Tamsataiva Bhajamyam. And also Sadhavo Hridayam Mayam Rat Sadranam Hridayam Tuham Maranyat Tena Janati Naham Tebyo Managapi. Because Krishna has this reciprocal relationship with his devotees where he says that those who have me in their hearts, I have them in my heart. And those who have no other focus other than me, I have no other focus other than them. So this is the loving relationship is there. And in this particular verse in the Bhagavatam we read today, we find this loving relationship with the citizens willing to sacrifice everything for the happiness of Rukmini and Krishna. So, any questions or comments? Yes. Who? Vasudeva Datta, he was willing. Yeah, he loved everyone like his children. Just like a parent, I mean a good parent, is willing to sacrifice everything for their child. So what is that mood of compassion that Vasudeva Datta had as a leader? I mean, he wasn't a king, obviously, but as a leader, he had that much love for everybody. And when someone has that much love, and Srila Prabhupada certainly had that much love for everybody, then everybody, or at least those who have a clear mind, are willing to reciprocate that and sacrifice themselves. And that's actually the essence of Varnashram Vedic society. The loving relationship and the reciprocal relationship between the different varnas and different ashrams. Yeah. That's very interesting. I think it's a gradual process. First, we recognize, you know, Nitya, Chaitanya, Chaitanya, Eko, Bahunam, Yogadharati Kama, which means Krishna's been supplying everything to us anyway, even before we started chanting or put on our dhotis or saris or whatever. And Krishna has been doing so much for us throughout our lives. We count our blessings. And so that should inspire us to approach Krishna. And then as we approach Krishna more, then we feel more that loving reciprocation from Krishna in a deeper way, not just the external things that we've experienced before, but the internal, I mean, at least that's been my experience in Krishna consciousness. There's this internal warm, fuzzy thing going on. Sorry for the expression. Isn't it? I mean, that loving exchange in the heart, you feel Prabhupada reciprocating with you, you feel spiritual master, you feel Krishna reciprocating. You see the deities smiling at you. in a loving way. So you actually feel that loving mood. It's it's transactional. You know, it's transactional. That particular mood, and that's really what, and it increases more. Krishna gives to us, and then we become more inspired, and then Krishna get. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Okay. On that happy note, all glorious to His divine grace, Srila Prabhupada.
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Agom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Vasyanti Pan Kayanti Jiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami
Hare Krishna. Namahom Vishnu Pajaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Guru Sammeniti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacha Nivesesha Shunyavati Matsachagate Satarande Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shiva Sati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Advaita Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shiva Sati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shiva Sati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hati Ate, Hati Rama, Re Rama, Rama Rama, Re Ate. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha, Goloka Nana Rana, Goloka Nana Radha. Nara, Goloka Nana Radha, Goloka Nana Radha. Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Radhe, Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Radhe, Jai Om Vishnu Pad. Shimati Lasi Devi Gijai, Santi Bhakta Vrindi Gijai, Go Brahmananda Hadiyago. All glory is to the assembled devotees. All glory is to the assembled devotees. All glory is to the assembled devotees. All glory is to Shri Guru Gauranga Shalabhava Gijai. Take Nam Nam Kai Gaudani Sarasakti Gajrapitani Matasmarnena Kala Etadrisita Bhagripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishani Hanani Nana Raga Trinada Peace Nichena Turora Peace Hishnuna Amanina Manajena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadishikamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishvare Bhavatad Bhaktir Haitaki Twaye Ainanda Chanu Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishme Bhavambudo Kripaya Tavapada Pankaja Stita Duli Sadvachintaya Nayanam Galuda Sudaraya Vadanam Gadgada Rudya Gira Ulaja Chikamba Pukada Tavanama Granay Vivishiti Jugaitam nimishena chakshusha pravishaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda vidahena me asli shiva panashtumam adarshanam marmatam karotuva yatadata vavadatu lampato matprananatus sevana paraham. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is a life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we were always anxious. O my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen to this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me brokenhearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he's always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shikshastika ki